Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Now, the political battlefield has literally erupted into a fierce poster war. That is what we have seen all through the last many hours. Now, what the Congress decided to do is unleash a provocative headless poster, gayab. But I must tell you that before we walked into the show here, into the studios for Newsnight, we discovered that that post already is gayab. So the Congress now has deleted that particular post, the post that you see on the extreme right of your screens. Now that actually branded Prime Minister Modi as gayab. This is what the Congress was defending all through the day earlier today. Gayab means absent, because they have claimed that the Prime Minister was missing from the all-party meeting and he's also dodging a special parliament session. So that is a charge that the Congress has levelled. Now, the BJP has also been quick to hit back, and they've hit back with a blistering counter poster. The poster that you now see on the left here, right next to the window where you see me also. So this tells you that the story about this war against terror, the war against Pakistan, has come down to this poster war. Now, they've also said that this particular poster of the Prime Minister, which the Congress had put out, that is now deleted, was an incitement against the Prime Minister. That is the charge that the BJP had levelled. But as this bitter clash that you have seen raging, then came images. Those are images now that will go up on your screens. These images then surfaced from 7LKM, where you see the Prime Minister in back-to-back high-stakes meetings. He was chairing this all-important security meet, the huddle, with the Raksha Mantri. You will see all of them there, the NSA, the CDS, and the Armed Forces chiefs. And then the Prime Minister delivered a huge, significant message. And that message, many now say, is set to redefine the entire narrative about how India is going to be responding to what happens. And I'm just going to ensure that we put out that message on your screens, because this is a story moving very fast. You've seen a lot of those developments. If you just read what the Prime Minister's office, in fact, this is an information that has come in that says that Prime Minister reaffirmed that it's our national resolve to deal a crushing blow to terrorism. The Prime Minister expressed complete faith and confidence in the professional abilities of the Indian Armed Forces. The Prime Minister has also said, ladies and gentlemen, that they have complete operational freedom. Now, that is the operative word. They say complete operational freedom to decide on the mode, the targets, and the timing of our response. So I think that is important right now, because this is the closest that we can get to figuring out what possibly could happen from here on. And I'm sure that's a question that a lot of you have been also asking. Without wasting time, I want to introduce a panel of guests. Then we'll also get you straight questions that will help you understand where is the story moving. Apart from all the clutter and the question we are asking, this is the poster war versus the Prime Minister action. It's a pleasure to have Mahima Singh, who's representing the Congress on the show. Also, Ranbir Singh Patania is a BJP MLA joining us from Jammu and Kashmir. And also an honor to have Lieutenant General Shankar Prasadji, who's the ex-DGM of the Indian Army. He's also with us for his perspective to how he sees the Prime Minister's message and so on. But Mahima, before I come to you and to Ranbir, let's put out our straight questions. These are straight questions that will help you identify what are the talking points and what is it that we are looking at on the show tonight. The first straight question, poster and a counter poster. Do you believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this weakens the united war against terror? Because it has to be a united war. But what do you achieve by putting out a poster and a counter poster? This brings us to our second straight question right now. That's again up on your screens. Is it the time for politics? Is today the right time for politics? The third straight question now on your screens, a question again that a lot of you have been also asking us. And though right now, Mahima, I've made that assertion here on the show that before we walked into the studio, we did realize that the Congress has decided to delete that particular post. Now, does this mean that the Congress has not been able to justify, quote-unquote, that headless poster? We'll let Mahima respond to that particular question in just a moment. Our fourth straight question, is the government ready for a parliament session? You've seen Rahul Gandhi Patania ji writing to you, writing to the BJP as in, and the Prime Minister. He says, let's have a special parliament session. What is the problem? I mean, why can't we have it? I'm sure that that's a question that you would also have to answer during the course of this entire conversation. This brings us to our fifth straight question that reads, Prime Minister's free hand to forces. Is he missing? Is he missing? Is he gayab, as the Congress has claimed? So let's quickly get Mahima first up to tell us what happened, Mahima. That gayab wala poster, the post, is now gayab. So has the Congress figured out that you shouldn't have put this out in the first place?
Jai Hind, Deepti, I want to ask you a straight question first. Do you agree that the BJP, do you agree with the BJP's style of posting a Ghibli poster when Himanshi was waiting for help over her dying husband's body and then he died over a course of 90 minutes? Does it behove the ruling party? Now today, the BJP has its foot in mouth again, as it does ever. You see, we post something, we publish something in the BJP, BJP's imagination runs haywire. So you see, we posted something, politics started over it, we decided to delete it because we have we maintain our first stance that we stand with the government, we stand united as a country, we await for the government to take an action. But why has the government not been able to nail down even a single terrorist so far? The same Modi ji, when he was the chief minister of Gujarat, came to Mumbai, came to the Taj Hotel during Mumbai terror attacks and said that, you see, everything is under Delhi's control. Delhi has all the agencies, Delhi has the control over the army, the BSF, everything. Why is the action not happening? And now today, instead of nailing down the terrorists, we see that one of our own is in their captivity. What is the government doing about it? Why don't we have a plan of action yet? It's been over a week, Deepti. So you see, the BJP must prevent itself from such embarrassment of putting its own foot in mouth time and again. We said gayab and they imagine PM Modi. Are they making a statement by imagining PM Modi when we say gayab? Is the BJP making a statement there? That is the real question.
Mahima, you believe the Prime Minister is gayab? Do you still believe the Prime Minister is missing? And I'll also put out those images that we have seen of that all-important meeting. There is that CCS tomorrow. There is a statement that has come in. He said free hand to the forces. Does the Congress still believe that the Prime Minister is missing?
Deepti, when the all-party meet happened, do you not agree as a very seasoned journalist that it should have been headed by the Prime Minister as it always has been, as the head of the state, as the head of the government? Why was he electioneering in Bihar instead of being a part of that very important, very critical meeting?
Okay, Mahima, that's an important question. Let Ranbir Singh Pathania respond to that. Now, Pathania ji, what is the problem? If the opposition says you're not getting us into confidence, you're not speaking to us, why are you running away, they say, from a special session of the Parliament? And why was the Prime Minister not there in the all-party meeting and instead campaigning in Bihar? I mean, are these not important questions?
Yes, first of all, a very good evening and Jai Hind to each and everybody on board. One corollary, clear, categorical, undisputed, that the sordid and dastardly attack at Baisaran valley of Pahalgam is a shock the conscience of the nation, one part. Secondly, it was meant to divide. It was meant to divide India, but something converse happened. It united India like anything else. Thirdly, I'm not able to comprehend that what silly bee has crept into the bonnet of the Congress, with all respect and all responsibility. We are of the considered view that when national issues are there, when national interest is there, so political lines must blur. This is the basic connecting thread. May it be the all-party Baitak at New Delhi or may it be the all-party Baitak at Jammu and Kashmir. So Congress on one side says we are giving a free hand to the Bharat Sarkar, but please quote what Congress's Jammu and Kashmir President Mr. Tariq Hamid Kara is saying. He says talk to Pakistan. What their former president and former Union Minister Saifuddin Sood is saying, he says believe Pakistan.
See, Pathania ji, you're also ducking that obvious question. No, I know what you're saying, but I want to ask a very simple question, sir. The opposition says, let's call a special session of the Parliament. Are you for it? Will the BJP, the centre government go for it? Tell me yes or no.
You see, so far as the issue of calling a special session of the Parliament is concerned, I think it will be examined at the appropriate level and responded at the appropriate level.
Okay.
But let us talk about the matter which is on the carpet. Why the Congress is out and out, why it is in such a hurry to play politics over an issue which is too sensitive to play politics over? Why they are not standing with each and everybody? Not with I say Bharatiya Janata Party is a smaller entity. Even Pradhan Mantri, he is an institution. He is a smaller entity.
Okay.
Why don't they stand with the people of India? Once the people of India have pinned all their hopes and all their aspirations, all their expectations from the Sarkar, Pradhan Mantri ji, day after day, meeting after meeting, and Congress, one lie after another lie, one camouflage after another camouflage.
You're saying the Congress is lying. I will let Mahima respond to that, but I also want to request our team to put out, pictures of what the BJP has tweeted. Because then you should also tell me whether the BJP is also playing politics. Now, what is this picture? What does that signify, Pathania ji? Can you tell me? This picture of the man, the silhouette that you see.
With regard to where might be, I have not seen that picture, might be in response to or incensed by certain insensitive, objectionable, and absolutely out of context, out of sync, such poster wall created by Congress. Might
they have deleted it. They have deleted it. Will the BJP delete this? Tell me this.
I personally don't approve it. But I see we must stand tall and united. We need to fight it out. We need to correct the historical wrongs, may it be Indus Water Treaty, may it be severing the diplomatic relations with Pakistan also. We need to act off. We need to settle the issue once and for all.
Okay.
You see, India is fighting India's fight against terror is at a very, very decisive stage. We should be responsible.
So it is the responsibility, I think, of both the government and the opposition to work in tandem. That is what people want.
Absolutely.
Okay, I will just let Mahima take 10 seconds before we get in General Shankar Prasad, who's been patiently waiting. Mahima.
Yeah, you see, the BJP spokesperson's points are two. That the Congress is not standing with the government in the true sense, and they are saying that we are in haste, that we are hastily awaiting an action. I just want to remind the BJP spokesperson Deepthi and through you the whole nation that on 9th of June 2024, on the eve of the PM Modi's swearing in ceremony, there was an attack on pilgrims in Riyasi of Kashmir. What has the government done since then? Why has the justice not been dispensed to the families of Pulwama? Why did we hear such controversial reports from the erstwhile governor? Now the government wants us to trust them, and yes, we have trusted.
Mahima, see, I do not have a problem with you raising questions at the BJP, at Pathania ji, and at everyone else. We must raise questions. All that I'm saying is this the time for politics, or this is a time for a united resolve? And on that question, let me get in General Shankar Prasad, who's been patiently waiting. Mahima, I'm going to come back to you because I think I would want to understand from him, how does he read the Prime Minister's message, sir? What is your reading of what we've heard today from the Prime Minister after that all-important meeting?
The Prime Minister has given a very clear directive soon after the incident happened in Pahalgam that the perpetrators of this business must be brought to books and destroyed, not only them but even their backers. Thereafter, there have been a 4 or 5 days time lag in which the armed forces and all the other agencies of the government of India have prepared their plans. Today there has been a meeting and the armed forces service chiefs would have briefed the Prime Minister. Prime Minister seems really much, looks like he's pretty much satisfied. Tomorrow's CCS meeting will give a final clearance. The point is very simple. The Prime Minister is convinced of the outline plan produced by the service chiefs, which is presented to him today, and now he feels confident to say, now you go and do it. I approve of your plan. Please choose your timing and date and places and the manner. I want the accomplishment of the task that I've assigned to you in my original speech, and it has to be done quickly. So tomorrow, I think, in the CCS meeting, the final approval will be accorded. Thereafter, all identified targets to fulfill the objectives of the Prime Minister will be engaged by the armed forces in the manner they consider the best. While the armed forces will act in unison, Army, Navy and the Air Force, the security, other security apparatus, the intelligence agencies, the other activities that various ministries have to take will be taken into account, and a holistic plan will be made. I think the fact that the Prime Minister said, I give you full liberty to do it, is something that is very unique. He doesn't want to go into the minor details, but the overall plan certainly is with his approval.
I think that's a fair and a very nuanced point that you're making, and I'll just want to, re-emphasize the message that we've heard from the Prime Minister. So I'm just requesting our team to put that out also, Mahima. Did the Congress speak too soon? Because look at this. If you look at the activity of the Congress's, social media handle, on one side you had Rahul Gandhi earlier saying, we stand with the government, we are with the government on whatever they want to do, whatever they want to decide. Then comes a string of these responses from different Congress netas. And Mahima, you and I both know that the Congress was at pains to kind of say that, these are made in personal capacity. But when you're speaking as one, when you're speaking as a country, is this really how a responsible opposition must behave, Mahima? Why is that a wrong question to ask? The Prime Minister's been, chairing all these meetings. The Prime Minister today says tomorrow is the CCS and we have given an operational freedom to our forces. Is the Prime Minister still missing? Or politics is something that takes precedence?
We do stand with the Prime Minister and the government as stated by the CWC, Deepthi. But the larger question today that faces all of us and that faces, you say politics. I say that politics is being played by none other than the Prime Minister. This is a choreography of another soliloquy. This is another soliloquy in making tomorrow so that he can stand in the parliament and thump his chest and say, Ek akela sab pe bhari.
What is the choreography? What are you calling choreography?
Hold on. Why can he not take the opposition along? Why should he not take all the stakeholders along?
Okay.
Why should he hold lonesome meetings at his residence? Why should he not call a special session of the parliament? Why did he go to Taj during Mumbai terror attacks and said that all is under control of Delhi and how Delhi should behave? Those were the times when the Prime Minister used to come out and address the nation in such dire times. Why has the Prime Minister not spoken with the families, with the aggrieved families who have died at behest of this government, at behest of the Prime Minister?
Mahima, okay, Mahima, you raised those questions. You raised those questions. The Congress was also in power. I don't want to go back to, the terror record that we have seen then, the fatalities, the many questions that have been raised. Because like I said, today is not the time for politics. Today is the time that we speak as one. Yes, but let me get it BJP to respond to what you have said. Let me see if the BJP is also equally guilty. Pathania ji, as you are hearing, Mahima, that it's not just the Congress. Is the BJP also, right now wanting to score their brownie points? I mean, you want to hit out at the opposition at everything. And that is why we forget that the larger fight right now is with Pakistan. This is a war against terror, like the Prime Minister has said, not a war between the BJP and the Congress.
Absolutely not. This is the basic crux of the matter. So the fight was something else. Adversaries were somewhere else. This is not at all one political party versus another political party. We need to stay united. We need to be constructive. We need to be contributive. This is the essence and edifice of the veteran issue. We need to rise to the occasion. People will not forgive. Nation will not forgive. And particularly the moment will not forgive each and everybody of us. I am saying that this cross-border terrorism has been festering us. It has been acting as an ulcer which we are not able to cure since the past so many decades. We need to cure it off. We need to wipe it off in one go. We don't want to play politics.
But you are in power. The entire country is with you. You are in power. The entire country stands with you. The opposition has said we are with the government in whatever they do.
Yes. You see, madam, what I am submitting, we need the support of the Congress also. But what irks us, what incenses us, what virtually irritates us, the hurry of the Congress just to play politics over an issue, which is absolutely not at all a political issue.
Have you forgotten
it's an issue of a national security.
One by one, please.
It is an issue which
let him complete his point, then you can counter.
Safety and the well-being of the people of India. Why do you want to play politics over? A big constitutional change has been done in Jammu and Kashmir. It was Congress which said that Article 370 shall be temporary provision. Nehruji said it needs to go. Narasimha Rao ji said it needs to go. If your unfinished task we have achieved, and achieving the unfinished task left by the Congress or left by Nehruji, it irks the subversive or the terrorist camps in Pakistan. So they act in retaliation, in retribution at Pahalgam. Then what's the problem with Congress? We need to set it right. The historical wrongs need to be done. I put a neat question to you. How come you have entered into that Indus Water Treaty with an aggressive state, which was illegally encroaching and holding upon a territory of Jammu and Kashmir which was legally acceded to the Union of India. So if we are correcting the historical one, please cooperate, please wait, please watch, please support, please be constructive, as I said. Everybody needs to be constructive and people will not forgive about this petty opportunism.
Ranbir Singh Pathania, the problem is that the charge that the opposition levels, and I want to get in General Shankar Prasad back for a quick question, Mahima, before I come back to you. Because the moment a question is raised of the government, whether this is about intelligence failure, this is about preparedness, or, just plain simple complacency, the BJP says you are anti-national. So now see, this is a tweet that was put out by the BJP. Pathania ji, have a close look. On one side is that tweet of gayab that the Congress had put out. That tweet is also now gayab. On the other side, the Congress said, the BJP said that everyone from the Congress who's raising questions on the government today are Pakistan PR agents. Is that a fair comparison also to make? Pathania ji, quickly.
So, you see, now it might be a bit harsh, but the way the Saifuddin shows, way Mr. Tariq Hamid Kara, the incumbent president of the Congress from Jammu and Kashmir, the way Mr. Vijay, the way Mr. Siddaramaiah, they have tried to virtually impugn the spirit and the sentiment of, to alienate the spirit and the sentiment of we the people of India. This virtually aches each and everybody. This virtually irritates. This doesn't go down the spine of not me or not the Bharatiya Janata Party, but every right-thinking.
Okay, it's just unfortunate. Mahima, just take 10 seconds because I have to give the final word to General Shankar Prasad. Quickly, Mahima.
You know what, Deepthi, if the BJP spokesperson feels this is too soon, I just want to ask a plain question. What did the Home Minister Amit Shah find out in J&K earlier this month that PM's visit was cancelled? And what is the BJP's plan now? They could not prevent this in spite of all intelligence. It is an intelligence failure. What is their plan to get back one of our own that lies, that is in Pakistan's captivity today?
And what are they must ask those questions, but as far as we know, the Prime Minister's visit got cancelled because of bad weather. It is unfair to connect the dots, not stand with the country, Mahima. No, Mahima, I'm with you when you raise questions on the government, but just to allude motive to everything is not fair. Not fair, Mahima. I want you to pull back. I also want Pathania ji to pull back because this is not the time, Mahima, to cast aspersions on the country and our intelligence forces.
Why was there not even a single personnel?
Okay, wait. These are important questions. These are important questions, Mahima, and you must ask them. The government will have to respond to that. But today is not the time to play politics.
There's not one army person to be seen
Okay, wait. Mahima, you've spoken enough. Let me get in General Shankar Prasad for his last remark, as you've seen this entire tutu memesa happening. Now, when the Prime Minister says that we've given the forces, the full freedom to act at a time of their choosing, what is it that we possibly could be looking at? How do you see the next few hours to the next few days moving ahead?
Prime Minister stating complete freedom to the armed forces is something very encouraging for the armed forces. The overall plan is very much approved by the Prime Minister and perhaps will be by CCS tomorrow. Now, minor details means, is the army going to attack certain targets on the line of control? Is it going to also simultaneously attack certain targets which is across the border? Is it also going to take certain actions, covert or regular, inside Pakistan, whether it is the headquarters of the Jaish-e-Mohammed or the LET, or even higher headquarters? So the wherewithal is available to the military, the army, the navy and the air force. Now it's up to us, the military hierarchy, to use each of these, the powers that we've got to neutralize the targets that have been identified. Therefore, I think the Army, Navy and Air Force have a very unique opportunity to work in unison and to take each target which is considered as vital to accomplish the final objective which the Prime Minister has given. I think the Navy Chief, the Army Chief, the Air Chief will come out with plots and plans which will be very effective, and I think it will all happen pretty soon.
All right, I think that's an important assessment. General Shankar Prasad, Ranbir Singh Pathania and Mahima, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to talking again on the entire issue. Only for want of time, let's also bring forward Newsnight's parting shot. So what is clear is that tensions have escalated between India and Pakistan. Domestic politics literally roars with a lot of these fiery debates that you see both in the studio and outside. Yet the nation, remember, is moving forward. All that we say is that this is not the time for domestic politics. You have security operations that have escalated. You have diplomacy phrase. You have action on the Indus Water Treaty and a lot more happening. Now, tomorrow is a significant day. Why we say this is because you will have the CCS Cabinet Committee on Security that's going to be meeting. And that, as you've just heard also General Shankar Prasad saying, that will chart the path ahead. What happens next? Narendra Modi's message today was unequivocal. In case you want to know, the only question you've been asking is what happens next? When the Prime Minister today puts out that message that the armed forces have the full freedom to strike, remember how, when and where they choose. What is very, very clear is that action is certain and it is coming fast. It's just a matter of time. Thank you for watching. Good night.